Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and my Ming Aralia that you can see right here, which is a plant I have shown in a video before, basically right after I've got it from a plant store. What I did last time is take some of the stems out here at the base and simply took some of the growth out, but almost nothing. And this is the reason why today, actually, after it has settled in more into my home, I want to get a bit more drastic with it and decrease the height of it. It is a plant that normally they say you cannot really wire, so the way you shape it is more by pruning and also more by really directional pruning. So that is what we're getting into more today. And I would say let's start right away with the first cuts that we're going to do down here. As you probably can see, there is this little suckers coming from the places where last time we took out some of the stems down here. So first step is to also get rid of those again. Simply take them out. Some you can pinch off, others you have to cut off. Luckily, I think on the other side there has not been too much forming at the moment. So it is quite clear still, the trunk here. So I would say let's move up to here. You can see the height of this tree is actually way too tall for my liking, also in comparison to the trunk and the width of the trunk. So I do want to reduce it quite considerably, and doing that I want to cut it back to basically 2 leaf pairs, I would say. So this one, for example, I would cut quite drastically out like this, so really quite a big one. I'm not sure if I will actually try to root something like this. I have not read up too much about yet if you can root Ming Aralia from cuttings, so I will give it a try. I think with something like this is a good size for a cutting normally, so why not try it? But for now, let's continue with just thinning out the growth here. As I said, I really want to quite considerably take it back, so it can be a bit more drastic today than it was the last time. It has not lost any leaves since I got it into my home, so it definitely, I would say, has grown used to the environment that I keep it in, so it should also quite well be able to deal with pruning back today. Of course, what I'm trying to do is see previous growth, how has it grown, has it been cut back before a bit, and what I will try to do is to spread it out a bit more. It is growing very vertically. Ming Aralia in general is known to do that. So by using more directional pruning, so pruning basically to a leaf that is showing in an outside direction, I will encourage future growth also then to grow a bit more outwards and give it simply the appearance of a more mature tree this way. So here it is a bit dense actually, so I will take out more here, I would say. And I can see from this stem there's actually quite a lot of growth coming from. So we might even reduce this a bit more still. Take this chunk out here, just to free it up also here in the middle. And of course then here in the back, let me turn it a bit. We still have a lot of growth. It has already been cut here once before, so I don't want to go too drastic. There is some new growth coming from here, so we can quite safely take out the tip here and move further down here. So which one was that now? There it is. Good. Also here again. And as I said, what I do keep then is the leaf that is growing more outwards here. Also here, this is a bit too dense, and you can basically see the structure of the trunk coming quite nicely over here. So the question is if I even might remove this lower one here, just to open up the trunk more, giving really a nice view of the trunk line and the taper up here. Speaking of the taper, I do see that it's a bit too thick actually here, so we will need to take out some of the branches here. Just too cluttered for my liking. Also here again, reduce it in height, opening it up quite nicely this way. So here, simply taking out some of the stems. Here in the back it's still quite wild. But let me see where this growth is starting so I don't take out too much. Same is true for this one though. I think here we can be a bit more drastic actually. I have seen already some new growth on it. For example here, that comes in at a slightly lighter green shade, which is quite nice also to look at. So I do see there is new growth coming, so I'm not too worried about cutting it back and pruning it back at the moment. Also take this one out. So the size is definitely coming down quite nicely already. So let's focus more on simply thinning it out still a bit. And that will anyway probably be the last time this growth season. I will prune this one back. It will take its time anyway to recover, so we don't have to stress it too much. There's also a lot of growth coming here from this point. I might actually in this case take out the back one here and leave the front one to not make it too bare from here. We already have opened it up quite considerably, so I do want to keep some of the growth still hiding more of the finer branches than later on. Here in the future I will definitely need to go in one way or the other, either taking this completely out or maybe even taking the one out in the back. Though really at this moment I'm not sure yet I will do it. This one here might take out, if it works, yes. Just also to open it up here a bit more, just giving it the semblance of a tree, simply having some space in between, giving it more of structure. As I said, it's very difficult, or I read it's very difficult to wire it. Also now working on it, I can feel that it is quite brittle, so it tends to break actually quite easily. So wiring is definitely not recommended for this tree. I do see that this is the case for this tree. Here in the back we still have a lot of growth. This is actually growing inwards, so again I take out to have it grow outwards. Here it also would mean to take out one more leaf. And here we can take it even down further, I would say, to this leaf. Turn it around once more to what I would consider rather the back of the tree, even though it's of course maybe a bit too early to say that yet, because it is still very much in development, so a lot can happen still to this tree that will also affect later on what will be the front and the back. Here we're also a bit too crowded for a side branch, so I will, it's actually two branches when looking closer, so we'll take this one down to a lower branch here, and this one probably to one in the back here, also thinning it out a bit, giving it a nicer shape. Good. Also here maybe still taking out some of the growth, as well as, let me see, yeah, here also. And I think I'm quite happy at this point. As I said already before, here we have a dead stem in that I think has not fully died back yet, so I do not want to take this one out at the moment. I keep it on still, wait for it to die back more. Here's still two suckers that we can take out at least. And once it has died back more, I will take it also out here at the base of the trunk, which in turn, of course, gives it this very clump-like look. We have a quite gnarly trunk already here. This should callus over quite nicely over the next couple of years, and it will give it a very nice old tree-like look. So I think this tree is on a good way. We have cut it down in size considerably. I can show you how much we actually have cut off. So I would say almost 2/3 of the tree actually, or at least half of the tree. And I think it has done quite something to this tree, also to the shape. It is more clear now what is the front of the tree at the moment. It does look healthier. Here I can still see at the moment that we did not keep to the principle. We have one in here that is actually growing inwards. So looking at it, I will still take this one out and also this one up here that's growing inwards. Again, opening it up a bit more. We will have new growth, of course, sprouting here from some areas, again, covering the top of the trunk line here, and in the end, giving it a nice and full structured view. So I would say for today, giving you one more spin, basically, for today, I would finish and leave it at that. I think we have done quite a lot to the tree. I will put it back in its usual place, see that it recovers the last couple of weeks now in growth season, keep it healthy and happy over winter, and then continue working on it probably in spring. And of course, I will keep you updated on how it is doing. If you have any questions about this tree, of course, you can leave them in the comment anytime and I will get to answer them as soon as I see them. I would also really appreciate if you leave a like to this video and if you subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.